And I've been following you on Twitter. You just got done doing 3 days in 3 countries. Can you tell me a little bit about what were you doing? Were those some indie shows, some TNA shows? And you've got to just be exhausted right now.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way. Like, I pride myself in being the busiest wrestler in the world right now.
Yeah.
The 3 days thing that I just did over this past weekend was the easy part of my past couple of weeks. I started my journey over the past couple of weeks in Australia, and excuse me, I had a couple of shows there. Flew from Australia back to I'll begin at the TNA tapings. I started the TNA tapings on the Friday to the Sunday. Then I flew to Australia on the Monday, and then I spent 2 days in Australia. I went back to Tampa for a day and a half. Then I flew to San Jose, and I did 3 of the Evolve Dragon Gate shows. I finished the last show on the Saturday in the afternoon. Got my gear on, went straight to the airport, flew to Scotland to make a big show at the Glasgow Barrowlands the next day on the Sunday night. And then I had a couple more days off, and then I started the 3 countries in 3 days, which was Scotland, and then London, and Belfast last night, and I just got back from Belfast.
Dang, man.
That was my past couple of weeks. Then I got a couple more days off. Like, my day off involves doing interviews, of course, because if I don't have some kind of rest in my life, I lose my mind.
Man, that's just crazy. You are indeed the busiest wrestler in the world right now. I don't think there's any competition for that, man. You've been in TNA. You haven't been with TNA very long. You've already made a hell of an impact there. I mean, you debuted in Scotland, which that alone, with you being from there, being able to debut in your home country, can you tell me a little bit about what that environment was like and what that meant to you personally?
That was absolutely, just like everything in wrestling, it was all just a matter of timing.
Yeah.
I literally happened to be in Scotland for a show. I was back for one show with the ICW in Scotland, where I'm currently champion. And I spoke to TNA on the Monday. They tried to contact me a couple of times. I was a little tired, and I noticed a number I didn't recognize, so I didn't answer. About 5 times, and finally Tommy Dreamer had to text me and say, "Drake, you put that to your foot." TNA will try to talk to you. And we got talking on the Monday, and I was a bit apprehensive, but no intentions of being in US TV that soon after. I had been on it like not even prior.
Right.
And I spoke to them, heard what they had to say. I was very, excited after speaking to the bosses there. And they pretty much told me, we're part of a new network, and you got a chance to go on the ground floor. We want you just to come in as Drew Galloway, be Drew Galloway, talk as Drew Galloway, wrestle as Drew Galloway, and still have the freedom to do the schedule you've been doing. Because, right now, I just can't handle doing a little bit of wrestling. As I just told you, I have to be doing it all the time. And the idea of being part of, something exciting like TNA, building from the ground up in Destination in America, and it's going to get really big. The network is 100% behind the company, and that is very exciting. And do all the things I've been doing and making the impacts I've been making and getting my name out there.
Right away, man, you're in the middle of a great feud with the Beatdown Clan. I mean, from the get-go, you've had a lot more time on the mic than you've had on television in the past. I think that's really, really helping a lot. It makes everything a lot more well-rounded. How's it been being able to get all that mic time? And some of these promos you've been cutting are just epic already. It's been awesome to see.
Well, thank you for the complimentary comments, but basically I'm just being myself. I'm speaking my mind. I'm Drew Galloway saying what Drew Galloway thinks. It's not a character. It's not something that was written for me as a writer. It was basically TNA saying, "Hey, we want you just to be Drew. Go out and be Drew and say what Drew thinks." And Drew is the biggest wrestling fan in the world. He's now speaking as a wrestling fan. I'm the biggest wrestling geek and the biggest smart mark. And I'm literally saying what's on my mind, and if people are responsive, it's probably because they're big wrestling fans too, because I'm just saying how I feel, and a lot of people go by the response feel exactly the same, and that's the biggest compliment ever, because that's all I want to do right now is just be myself. I did it in Independence, started getting going, and I'm doing it in TNA, and everywhere I go, you're getting 100% Drew Galloway, and it's pretty cool to be able to express myself, because obviously you can only go so far in the ring. That's the biggest thing to me, but to express yourself and connect with everybody, that is just a very exciting thing for me. It's a very exciting time for me right now.
Awesome. And you've had a lot more you've been able to showcase your in-ring talents a lot more in TNA lately as well, especially on the new network, Destination America. It's a bit of a different ring than you're used to in the past. It's not your traditional four-sided ring. Was that hard for you to adjust to at all, or was that pretty natural?
Especially the first time I've been asked that question. Two questions. Yeah, that is a bit of a change. You spent 14 years wrestling at four sides to get in there initially. It was a bit disorientating initially, but once I got in there, just walked around for probably 5 minutes, and I just said, screw it, I'm just going to go for it in the match. My first match was with Kenny King, and once I got in there, no matter how many sides it was, it just felt natural again, just to be in there. And also with myself, if I see my stuff, I try to be as creative as possible when it comes to my in-ring stuff. And the fact you have 6 sides actually opens up more doors for me to create new moves, new spots, new situations. So I just look at it as, I could use this to my advantage. My whole gimmick in the past, and it's not really a gimmick, it's just, again, me trying to think outside the box. I'm always thinking outside the box. I try to be as creative as possible, use the ring as a tag team partner, use the ring as a weapon. How can I do something that's never been done before with a 6-sided ring? But that opens up new possibilities for me, so it became exciting rather than, well, this is getting weird.
Awesome. I mean, there's also, obviously, with the more sides, there's more turnbuckles. Did you ever feel tempted to do more aerial maneuvers with more top rope opportunities?
Oh, like the Galloway 630, the Galloway Star Press. I don't know. I'm really 6'6", but I like my feet on the ground. I'm more of a straight guy, but I not afraid to move around a bit. I'm thinking of myself more as Barry Windham mode than like a traditional taller guy. Like, I do like to move around. I do like to do some exciting things. And there is a lot of possibilities. You might not catch me in a 450 anytime soon, but
right.
Never say never for something crazy from Drew.
Hey, the innovating. You gotta keep it. Gotta keep us on our toes.
Keep on your toes.
And you're able to do we talked about earlier, you're able to do a lot more indie dates than you've been able to do in the past, and I feel like you've really taken advantage of that, because you're the ICW world champ, and you're Evolve and all of these indie promotions. I mean, what was the first one that you really wanted to try out, and what made you want to do the indie promotions instead of just one promotion?
Well, the way I looked at it, as soon as I got from WWE, was I will never be just like a lot of these guys who are gone and then they float under the radar and they hope to be back one day, or they hope to get an opportunity elsewhere in one of the other bigger companies in the world. Like that just wasn't me. I instantly left and said, I have an opportunity right now. So all I know is wrestling. My resume reads school, high school, university, criminology degree, work experience, 15 till present, professional wrestler. That's all I know. It's my specialty. So I knew right away I can take what I know and I'm going to make something happen. I will not be one of these guys that flies under the radar. I will make a bang everywhere I go. I knew that first off I was going to go back to Scotland to the ICW. They have an incredible bunch right now. That was their first ever champion. And I showed up as a surprise. It's so hard to keep a secret in wrestling. Only myself and one other person knew. Not even my family knew. I was literally hiding in my home for 3 days in Scotland before the show. Nice. Peering out the blinds occasionally playing Guitar Hero with my buddies. Like, I just refused to leave. I just wanted a secret in wrestling. I showed up at the building, hid in the basement, and they turned the lights on. I was in the ring, and I cut my mission statement. I like to think of it, just let the world know Drew's coming, and I refuse to be anything less than the best in the world. And that went viral, and like you said, with the Evolve, I had a match with Trent Beretta. He got hurt, and I ended up in a match with Chris Hero, the champion. And I ended up winning that match. My very first match, I won the Evolve title. And just steamrolled from there. I was in Talkish Jericho, got a bus going, and just people helping me out, people giving me platforms, people believing in me before I'd really proved myself, because I hadn't had a proper match in a long time as far as people were concerned. And then all these individuals gave me this chance, gave me the ball, and that's all I wanted. All I ever wanted was an opportunity, given the ball, and it just kept going. And things have exploded over the past almost 9 months now. I can't believe it's been such a short space of time. Currently, I have 5 titles on 3 continents. Last Saturday, I won the Dragon Gate USA title, as the Evolvers, the Dragon Gate title, double champion there, the Australian title, the Danish title, the ICW title. And, things couldn't be any better to cap it all off. I'm currently with TNA, and I'm just Drew Galloway. So I'm playing Drew Galloway in TNA. And the idea that if I keep working, I'm going to get the chance to wrestle Kurt Angle, the world champion right now, and that is crazy to hear right now. Crazy. I'm excited.
I'd love to see that. And that would be a great match. I mean, we're talking pay-per-view. That would be awesome. But I want to talk about the Rising. I mean, the Rising, that's what's going on right now. We're seeing the Rising this Friday on Impact. What was whose idea was the Rising? Where does it come from? And, it's just such a good, you guys are doing it so well. I mean, it really takes me back a little bit.
Thank you. I really appreciate that coming from obviously a big fan like yourself. I came in initially. There might not have been, a solid plan as such. It's wrestling. Just let's see what happens. I come in, again, give my mission statement like I do, and I just let the world know what Drew Galloway is all about. Started off with the BDC, and there's a lot of those guys. So inevitably, I'm going to need some backup, and we got a couple of guys in Eli Drake and Micah, who also got Haku's son, who's born into real wrestling, but that's tradition for him. That's just in his blood, his passion's insane. And you've got Eli Drake as well, Sean Ricker. He's just, somebody who's never really got the break yet. He's, a good-looking kid. He's good in the ring. He's very confident on the mic, and he just loves wrestling as well. And three like-minded individuals coming together. It's exciting times. I suggest everybody check out Impact this Friday because three of us have something to say, and not only that, but we're live tweeting all the fans' tweets, like anything the fans send out this week, or in general. Like I'm watching everything people are sending out, the whole stand-up movement we did. Yeah. So I'm very hands-on with that. That's not just something the company's doing. Like Drew Galloway's hands-on with that. I'm very hands-on with what we do, and that's what I love right now, working with TNA, because we are working together. I'm not being told what to do. We're all working hand in hand. And it's exciting, and anything the fans want to see, any views they have, say it. If I agree with you, chances are I will. If you're a wrestling fan like me, I'm the number one wrestling fan, and I agree with what you say, I'll go straight to the office and say, put this on TV, we're live tweeting the fans' tweets. And I suggest everybody tweet your mind, whatever you want to see on the show, do enjoy. Fire it out there, and I'll make sure it's on the show this week. You'll see, a big introduction of the Rising this week, because you get all the questions you have will be answered this Friday on the thing.
Awesome. Yeah, I was about to ask, in closing, this is the big week, everything is, a lot of stuff is coming to a head this week, without giving too much away. What can fans look for, expect from the Rising? We've got the stand-up movement. I mean, what's coming this Friday? I know you can't give too much away.
All I can suggest is, if you've been watching, you know it's going to be exciting. It's my, last week's show, my debut in the Impact Zone, that people were saying, it was in the UK, it's pretty exciting. Good response from the crowd. Wonder how it's going to be in America. It was the exact same response because people just agree with what I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to be some kind of leader. I'm not trying to say to everybody, these are my views, I'm going to lead you all. I'm saying to everybody, hey, I'm a wrestling fan, I have an opportunity. They gave me a microphone, they gave me the power. Walk beside me, speak your mind. And I will speak our mind. Like, I'm looking for everyone to join me. We're all a team here right now, we're all wrestling fans. But let's put on screen what we all want to see. I grew up wanting to be a wrestler, not wanting to be an actor or a talker. I just grew up wanting to be a professional wrestler. So let's put on screen what we want to see. And this Friday, we get a clear introduction of what the Rising is all about. It's a very, very exciting episode. I don't want to spoil it, but if you've not watched it, this is the week to watch, because I guarantee you're going to want to keep watching.
Exactly. Man, Drew, thank you so much for taking time to talk to me today. It's been great. Everybody listening out there, make sure you check out Impact this Friday, Destination America, 9/8 Central. You're not going to want to miss it. Things are getting good. Man, thanks for taking time today. I truly appreciate it.
Anytime, buddy. I love speaking to you. You're all the biggest fans, the guys that are covering it. Just thank you for listening, and all I say is, if you've got something you want to see, don't put it on a message board. Tweet it to me, tweet it to Impact. The whole stand-up thing exploded because people genuinely have a passion for change in wrestling right now. Mm-hmm. So just speak your mind, come to me, come to Impact, and I guarantee I am very hands-on. But you heard my schedule, you know how crazy I am about wrestling. I'm out of my mind when it comes to wrestling. Just tell me what you want, and I will fight to make changes. That's what I'm all about right now. Thanking, follow me on Galloway Speaks as well. I can't forget to mention my Twitter. If you want to see about Ultra's adventures across the world, I'm on Galloway Speaks. And then that's where you'll find out exactly where I'm at. And chances are I'll be in your country at some point, no matter what country you're in.